the end of the
Either way,
bed.
we can go with that.
Okay, I think I'm recording. We'll give it a whirl.
Okay.
Okay. So
You
I
want to
guess
tell me a little bit about you?
yeah, so a little bit about me. I'm currently in my undergrad right now. I go to UWGB, and I'm majoring in psychology. I no longer live at home. I live with my boyfriend. And then I have a younger sister, so she still lives at home with my parents.
Okay.
Um, and growing up, I've had two dogs. Um, we got my first dog, Haley, in fifth grade, and she's always been like my dog, like my girl. And then in sixth grade, we got Henry, and he's was like my sister's dog, but was also very much a mama's boy.
Okay.
And they're both Jack Russell Terriers, so they're little Spitfires a lot of the time. But um, recently, Henry, I mean, they're getting old. I mean, got him in fifth or sixth grade, and I'm now in college. Um, and Henry developed a pretty big growth on his face, and it wasn't really affecting him too much until all of a sudden he just kind of super fatigued, wasn't really active like he used to be, like a Jack Russell is, and couldn't breathe anymore. So we found out that the growth was cancerous. And we just couldn't watch him suffer or breathing anymore. And we ended up putting him down because we didn't want him to suffer. Um, and I guess I don't really know how to deal with it because I've never dealt with loss before. And even though it
Yeah.
feels silly being my dog, it's just nothing I've ever had to process before. Like I've never lost a family member, which I'm
Right.
very grateful to say. So it's like I kind of just feel stuck or unsure how I should feel about it.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear about your dog. That's always so difficult.
Thank you.
How long ago was that?
It happened in summer, kind of towards the end of summer. So I would say like maybe August, mid-August.
Okay. Were you at school then?
Yeah, so I wasn't home. They're like, I mean, my parents live in Green Bay, so
Okay.
I mean, I don't live at home, but I live maybe 20 minutes away in West of
Okay.
here. Um, but it kind of came on sudden, like I didn't know it had progressed that bad until like one night my mom called me and she's like, "Yeah, I think we're gonna have to put Henry down in the next few days." And I didn't really know how to respond. I kind of just like went silent for a minute and then just like burst into tears, and I
Mhm.
felt really bad because then it made my mom burst into tears, and like I've never seen my mom cry before.
Mm.
So it's like I'm heartbroken about losing my dog, but I'm heartbroken watching my mom. Um but thankfully I went home the next day because it was that was a Friday night. So then on Saturday I got to go home and we kind of had like a last little weekend with him.
Yeah.
Um just kind of, I mean, he couldn't really do much, so just kind of giving him the attention he needed and deserved. And then he was put down on a Monday. And I mean, my dad, I wasn't there.
Okay.
I wasn't there at the vet. Um, but my dad had to bring him in, and my dad doesn't like show emotions well,
Hmm.
or doesn't, I mean, at all. And I could tell that like that was really hard on him. And he sent a picture of Henry to us right before, and it's even if I don't look at it, like I can barely look at it because it's just he looks so sad. Henry, not my dad. It's just a picture of Henry.
Yeah. Right.
Just to clarify there. But it's just like kind of always in the back of my mind. And I don't want to think about it, but I don't want to feel like I'm forgetting him. And it still seems silly because it's a dog, but it's
Right.
still like I don't know how to help myself, help my family, like deal with this.
Okay. Do you think any of this anxiety or sadness is partially because you weren't there?
I
for
think so.
the last couple years of his life?
Yeah, I feel there's definitely some guilt there. Like I feel like I should have been around more and like yeah, I've been in school and working and I also have like my own I have chronic migraines and those can be very like they get triggered very easily. Sometimes I don't know what is triggered by them where it's I plan to go visit them on the weekend, but then I end up with homework or a migraine where I can't come over and it makes me feel bad even if that wasn't something I can control that I just wasn't there to spend that time with him.
Right.
I didn't know how bad it was going to be and it was kind of like so when my mom called me that day, like my sister and everyone else in the family kind of knew, but I had to work that night.
Mm,
And she then called me after. She didn't want to like say anything, obviously, while I was working. And I
mm.
don't know if like that made it worse that I was kind of like then also haven't been around, but then also like kind of kept out of the loop. Um, so
So,
I don't
do
know.
you feel anger that you were kept out of the loop?
A little bit, but I wouldn't say it's like directed at anybody. Maybe just the fact that I was, because like I get why my mom didn't tell me during the day because I'm obviously working and
Yeah.
that wouldn't be something I'd want to be made aware of like in the middle of work. And then I'm like, okay, can I process this right now? Do I ask to leave? But like I'm a people pleaser, so like I don't want to be like I can stay, I'm fine, like I didn't want to put myself through that, but yeah, I would definitely say there's some anger there,
Sure.
not knowing. I mean, he was like 14, 15 years old. I've had this dog for more than half my life.
Right.
Wait, so it's like even if he's just a dog, he's still like a family member.
Yes. I had a cat who lived for 20 years. That's a long time, right? For
I didn't know
anyone's life.
he's lived that long. I have cats now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have this cat when I'm in my 30s.
We'll have these cats
Oh my
forever.
gosh.
Better
Well,
like them.
I mean, I do. I love
Yeah.
them. I have one sleeping behind me, and I don't think she'd like if I picked her up,
Right. No.
but I do have, speaking of animals, this is his
Oh,
little paw print.
that
It's like
is
an
so sweet.
ornament. So everyone in my family got one, and I just have it propped up like on a little picture frame thing. It kind of
Nice.
sits on my desk because then it's still he's still with me because it's like I going back to my parents for the first time after he was put down, I was really scared.
Oh,
Um, just he's the first one. I mean, my dog Haley, she's my girl, but she's
right.
not like the most social all the time. She's kind of like a keeps to herself. She'll come
Only likes
greet
you.
me
Yeah.
after a little bit, like, oh, Megan's here. Okay. Yay. But like Henry, he's the first one at the door waiting for me. So it's like I'm not gonna have that greeting when I go there, or like again, like Haley, she's older too, so it kind of just keeps to herself, lays around. Like my old bedroom is her favorite place, which I love that she still loves to go in there, but
Yeah.
he was just the one that was like always around.
Sure.
So going there and knowing he wasn't gonna be there was just weird. Just a weird feeling. And I know it's
You
been
felt
really hard.
scared.
Yeah, scared. I don't know why scared, but I was just maybe scared because of I knew I kind of had to acknowledge it
Okay.
and that it was kind of like a reality because yeah, I knew he was being put down, but since I
Sure. It's gonna be
wasn't
quieter.
yeah, he was a barker. He barked at every bird, car, person, leaf falling off the damn tree. So, I mean, obviously, I didn't have to deal with how annoying that was when I was home, even though it was annoying. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna miss this. Like,
Yeah.
even if it, yeah, was a really annoying bark. Like I miss that sound now. Like, so
And I
And
think it's okay to grieve, right? It's
yeah,
okay to be sad.
yeah, and just never going through like dealing with the loss of a loved one, or even if it is
Right,
just a pet.
right,
I'm kind of, yeah, scared to go through grief because I don't know what that looks like, what that
right.
feels like or should look like.
I've been hearing you talk a lot about different things that Henry would do when you would get home and barking at the leaves and all the things. Does it help to talk about the good parts about having a pet?
It really does. It makes me remember the good times, and I can think of the good pictures I have of him, not the sad one I have being his
Right.
last picture, which now I
Yeah.
can't seem to find one to show you.
I mean, was it a good thing or a bad thing to get that picture?
I don't know. And I kind of have been thinking about that myself. Is I'm glad he had like a last picture,
Right.
but it's just so sad. And like I know my dad didn't mean anything bad by sending it
Right.
like at all, but
Sometimes it's hard to see a loved one in a bad state. And like
yeah,
in a way it would be better to remember them when they were good.
yeah. And that's yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't want to remember that one picture as my only memory of him. I
Right.
had him for 14, 15 years. And
Yes.
so this was him as a puppy. I don't know if you can
Oh,
see
yeah.
that. The
Oh my
lighting is,
goodness, look at that tennis ball. It's giant.
I know, the like lighting is really bad. I'm
Yeah,
so
no, I see
sorry.
it. It's cute. He's cute.
But he had big floppy ears. And
Yeah.
so after he was put down, then my sister and I were looking at all like the pictures of him. This
Yeah.
is him when I spent the last weekend with him. He's kind of
Oh,
smiling.
yeah, he's smiling. He's happy you're home.
I know. So that's like my favorite picture. Oh, and there's the
Yeah.
sad picture. Okay. I don't want to
Oh,
show you that one.
oh, yeah.
But yeah, it was nice to like go through those old pictures with my sister because Kaylee was my dog, Henry was hers, and
Right.
it's been hard for me, but it's been hard for everyone else too. And I don't know if it's like the big sister, oldest child in me that I feel like I want to care for everyone else before I deal with
Right.
my own. But it's sad watching them be sad. And I feel like I don't know what to say to them or how to help them.
Do you feel like it's your responsibility to help people, to help them?
Maybe a little bit. And again, I don't know if that's like the oldest child in me that like I feel like I've always wanted to put people first.
Sure.
Um, but in a way, I guess because like my mom, it was like he was her best friend,
Sure.
and um so like she's been really sad, and like my dad doesn't express how he's feeling, but we can like tell. So I feel like it's just been like their relationship has just been not as great. So I feel like again, like I need to fix it.
Has
But
it been strange to see your parents' vulnerability?
oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, like I've never seen my mom cry,
Right.
something like that. Like I've only seen the happy tears.
Hmm.
So to see her so sad, or even like when we were spending like the last weekend with him, like we were sitting outside like on our little porch, in our backyard, and like she was sitting out there with him on like a little patio couch or whatever. And I ran inside to just go grab a snack and some water. And I came out and she was just like holding him crying, and I like didn't even know how to approach her
Mm.
because I feel like it was maybe kind of like settling in that this was like our last weekend with him.
Hmm.
And so I feel like, especially, yeah, with her and my sister, I want to help them because I feel like my dad kind of shuts down when he's sad. So I feel like they need support too, that he's just like not able to give right now because he doesn't know how to handle his own feelings. But I don't know. It's just a weird feeling to see your parents cry.
Sure, right.
I don't know.
I mean, so in a way, I'm hearing that you have parents who have always been strong for you, and now you feel like they're not so strong, so you have to be strong for them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they've always been very strong for me, very supportive of me. So, yeah, I feel like I need to like be that rock for them, for us all to kind of get through it.
I know that you did the paw print, but is there another way that you could kind of memorialize Henry together?
I think so. Um, I know like my mom, she has like the paw print, but and then she has like his collar set up and with like a couple of pictures. I don't want to say it's like a shrine. Is that the right word? It's not like
Right.
that where it's like really, like in your face
Yeah.
and she's like worshiping it. But it has like some pictures of when he was a puppy and kind of some older ones too of when he was, because he was very active as a
Sure.
puppy. And then, I mean, he was always active, but then he kind of became like a chunky old man before he got sick. So there's a cute variety of pictures kind of with the paw print and the collar. And that's like set up in my old room. So it's also cute because like that's where Haley sleeps. So it's kind of like she has that too, because getting them so close together, they like grew up together and it's
Right.
add her to the list of it seems like she's different and sad and that makes me sad.
Yeah.
And like she's getting old too, like and with her being my dog, like if I could barely handle Henry, how am I gonna handle losing her? Like she's got back problems. She used
Yep.
to jump up on our like um the bar stools, like at the kitchen counter
Yeah.
as a puppy.
Whoa.
So yeah, Jack
Whoa.
Russells they are something else. I don't know if we knew what we were signing up for when we got Jack
Nothing is
Russell.
safe.
It was just like, oh, here is a cute rescue dog.
Yeah.
We'll take him. Um, so yeah, she used to do that a lot as a puppy, to the point where she like slipped a disc in her back or
Oh
something.
no.
So she's kind of had back problems since, and like she's on medications and stuff to help, but it's when it flares up, it's like that's hard to see. Like, is this,
Right.
I want to say, is this the end? But
Well, in a
yeah,
way, it sounds like you kind of have some like anticipatory grief, right?
yeah. Like it already
Because
makes
you're
me think of,
feeling it right now with Henry, and you know it's coming with Haley.
yeah, it's gonna come eventually, whether it's in the next year or who knows, maybe she has another five, but it's gonna come eventually, and it's just a scary thought,
So,
a
is
sad
there a way
thought.
that you can prepare for this with Haley? I mean, I know that Henry's kind of taken you by surprise in a little way. You said that it was sudden.
Yeah,
But is there something that you can do with Haley to kind of make it the best?
yeah, I think just spend more time with her since I didn't with Henry. Um, so like whether I have a free weekend, just going home and visiting my parents and just spending time with her, even if she is like kind of antisocial sometimes.
Yeah.
Just kind of hanging out with her and taking some time for myself in a way. I'm just like chilling on the couch with her,
Right.
you know, like
Are you able to do that with your schedule and school?
yeah, yeah. I recently changed around like my work hours where I used to work every other weekend and now I just work during the week.
Okay.
So I think maybe like that'll be helpful. And I think that's also school and my migraines and work, like that kind of held me back before with Henry and not seeing him. So it feels good knowing that I have weekends free from work. Um, so yeah, I think even with school, I feel like I need to kind of prioritize it for myself to
Sure.
make that time. Yeah.
And I mean, maybe you talk about how you want to help your parents and your sister. I would imagine that just seeing you more might be helpful, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know my sister, I mean, you know how sisters are. You kind of grow up with them and it's petty arguments and you took my
Right.
clothes, blah, blah, blah. You know, how dare you steal my shirt? You took a shower when I wanted it to. But I know she's been feeling lonely even kind of before
Yeah.
in passing. So I think, yeah, just being there more, just hanging out, just physically being there. So
Yeah.
I think that would
Is
help,
there a way that
definitely help.
you could like all have some self-care? I mean,
Yeah.
like a girls' weekend or to kind of get your mind off of it.
Yeah, I mean, before the whole thing happened, my mom's sister and I were kind of planning like a trip to Door County.
Yeah.
Um, so I think maybe, and that kind of just was the last thing in our mind then once Henry passed away. So maybe kind of making that a priority of getting away, but getting together and spending some time together, kind of take our minds off of it, but
Right.
still support each other about it. So yeah, I think a trip to Door County would be fun because we haven't done anything like big, even if that isn't like big or, you know, a trip out of
Oh,
state or
yeah.
anything. I think it would still be fun to, it's like also a little road trip, like a
Right.
road trip and a trip, two in one.
Yeah. I mean, what I just keep thinking about is that you're talking about trying to help other people. Um, and I'm thinking, what can you control in this whole situation?
Yeah, I guess I can't control how others feel,
Right.
right? I can't control how they process things, but what I can control is visiting more, being more
Yeah.
physically present, and, you know, maybe I just go ahead and take over the planning of the Door County trip.
Yeah.
That's something I could control because that way I can kind of force them to get out too, in a way. I
Right.
can kind of control that. Um,
Will
but
you
yeah,
pause just a second? Sorry.
well, it's making me happen, you know.
So you take over the planning of Door County.
Yes, I'm a planner,
Okay.
so I feel like that would be a fun thing for me to do. I can plan what restaurants we go to, and they have a bunch of cute little shops there, so just kind of
Yeah.
plan where we're going. I'm gonna set the tone for it.
And maybe you can find something to remember Henry.
Yes. I mean, they got millions of little shops up there. I gotta be able
Right.
to find something,
There's got to
right?
be some dog thing.
Something that resembles
Right.
this crazy little Jack Russell Terrier. Yes, I love that idea.
Yeah. Um, so we have a little bit of time left, but besides Door County, um, is there anything that we could do with Haley?
I guess again, just spending more time with her. I mean,
Sure.
even though she's getting old, she's still is going on walks and things like that. And I think it'd be kind of a good outlet for me to get some fresh air and get some exercise, but also spending time with her. So if I just like wiggle her leash and ask her if she wants to go for a walkie, she knows exactly what that means. And she runs to the door and she acts like she's a puppy again. I'm like, I thought you're, who are you?
Yeah.
Because why aren't you like this all the time? But I
Have you
mean,
thought about doing a doggy bucket list? Is that crazy?
I love that.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. And I mean, she also loves car rides.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, just little things like, okay, we're gonna take a walk on this trail today.
Right.
And then
And
take a
then we're
drive.
gonna get you a pup cup.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I need to write this down because I love that. And I'm a planner, so
Yes.
a bucket list is kind of like a plan.
Yeah. Where does
And
Haley
it's
like to go? Let's go take her places and take cute pictures. Photo shoot at every
photos.
location.
And I love taking pictures. Like with my cats that I have now, like at my own place, they'll just be sleeping.
Yeah, but they're
30
so cute.
pictures. 30
Yeah.
pictures. Like, I
And they're
will
all the same,
not.
but you can't delete them.
No.
So,
Oh my God, no.
no.
That I mean, I wouldn't be lying when I say that my camera roll has 10 to 11,000 pictures and videos. Like I don't know how my phone still works, has any storage, but
Yeah.
it's all pictures of my cats or the
Thank
dogs.
you, Cloud,
Yeah,
wherever you are.
wherever you are up in the world, in this cyberspace, is that even? I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not techie, but it's there somewhere. Yes, I love the bucket list idea. So at least that
Doggy
way
bucket list.
we can, yeah, have
Here's a
some memory.
cheeseburger. This is awesome. Here you go.
She would love a cheeseburger because she like refuses to eat her dog food now.
Yes. Oh, sure. Right.
She
You
is
say
just
steak for dinner? Fine. You want steak? Okay.
she is very high maintenance. One day she'll eat it, one day she won't, and my mom
Yeah.
will have to make her chicken. Like
Yeah.
there's some days, like as a poor college student, Haley eats better than me. She's getting chicken,
Haley
she's
doesn't
getting
eat ramen?
rice, and I'm eating ramen.
Yeah.
Literally ramen like an animal over the sink. Like
Right.
that is me, and
Not
Haley's
even
getting
cooked.
her cheeseburger and a steak.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's usually like the food my dad's gonna save as leftovers. And it goes to her instead. She's a high maintenance old lady. And it's
Yeah.
just great. Even in her old age,
Right.
it's hilarious. So that does definitely make it better.
And I'm
Um,
wondering, you're talking about how your parents are having a tough time with Henry and your sister. I'm wondering if you could involve them too with this bucket list, if they could
yeah, because I
go along
mean,
with you.
they're all living at home with Haley. So I think, yeah, definitely. Okay, let's all jump in the car. We're going to McDonald's. We're getting
Yeah.
our pop up at Starbucks. I'm getting my coffee too. Who's buying? I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Definitely, and something, yeah, we can do together and make new memories before she's gone. Because, yeah, I don't
Right.
want it to be sudden and
And we don't want to just have that one final picture.
yes. And I don't want to be angry about not knowing that it's coming.
Right.
Like, I want to be able to, like, yeah, come to terms with it. This is the circle of life. And
Right. And I think
it
it's
happened.
important to remember like the strengths of having a pet, the good parts of having a pet too, right? Um, and just by doing these things with Haley, you'll be able to just really focus on that before things could go bad, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I feel like for my bucket list,
Yes,
I have not slept at my parents' house in a while, like sleepover.
sure.
So I feel like I need to have like a sleepover with my sister, and Haley still loves my old bed. So I mean, it's art. We'll all just climb in there, watch movies, and you
That'd be
know,
so cute.
that way that yeah, we're still spending time together and yeah, taking
Yeah.
care of each other and ourselves at the same time.
So it seems like there is or was a lot of grief, and I think that we can still anticipate that grief. But how are you feeling currently? And is there anything else that you would like to discuss today?
I definitely would say I'm feeling better because it's not something like I mean, I've like talked to my boyfriend about it and he's like, it's hard, it's gonna be okay. And I'm just like, but is it gonna be okay? I've never dealt with grief before. And it's not like I could tell like my mom or my sister, like, oh, I'm angry that you guys kept me out of the loop when they're grieving too. Like, I don't want to make it about me.
Right.
Um, so it definitely feels better to talk about it and just having like, yeah, our doggy bucket list. Like that makes me excited. So
Yeah.
definitely feeling better. Um, yeah, I mean,
I'm wondering if your family would feel good talking about it too. Like, it seems like we enjoy talking about Henry and we enjoy talking about
yeah,
Haley. Maybe it
yeah,
would help everyone else if you were all able to sit down and talk about Henry and have some dinner and give some to the dog and
yeah. She deserves it. She's a
right.
princess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think we need to as well. It's just like I said, my dad doesn't express feelings, so I don't know if he'll let anything out or just kind of listen, but I feel like either way at least he's hearing it.
Right.
But like I don't want to see him sad. I feel like that's even more weird than my seeing my mom sad.
Yes.
I don't know why, but I
I
feel
think
like seeing my
because
dad
there's
sad would be more weird.
I think there's just like a social stigma that like guys shouldn't feel sadness
Yeah. So maybe that's
about
why
a
he
pet.
kind of, yeah, especially about a pet.
Right.
So I don't know if maybe that's why he bottles it up, and he also has like s- 8 siblings. So it's like, well, did he, is he like this because he had to bottle it up as a kid? I don't know.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
at least he'd be there for the conversation and I don't know, maybe he'd surprise me. Because I
Yeah.
feel like he would, I mean, like my mom and sister have talked to me about it and kind of thing, but maybe I think he would just really benefit from talking about it. So
Even
if
if
it
it's
is just,
talking about it around him, right?
yeah, or just
Yeah.
talking about it around him, because yeah, sometimes it'll just be like a FaceTime call with my mom and my
Sure.
sister if he's at work or he's always doing like yard work or something. Where yeah, he's not usually there for it. So I think even if he doesn't say anything, he can kind of see how we're feeling and maybe he would.
I can only
So
imagine that if you feel like it's quiet when you go home, that he also feels like it's quiet when he goes home.
yeah, and I mean he's the one who had to bring Henry to the vet.
Yeah.
And he put him down. So it's like I know you got some sadness in there.
Yeah.
I've seen you cry from Disney movies. I mean, so it's like a different type of cry. So I guess I have
Right.
seen him cry, but like, it's, over something fictional, like, yeah, Beauty and the Beast. That one always gets him. And it was my sister's favorite growing up.
Yeah.
The one scene with the dad, But anyway, so I know there's some sadness in him from having to be the one to bring Henry because none of
Sure.
us were strong enough to do it. I don't think I could have done that. So I give him major props for
I mean, while we're
too.
talking about going to Door County with your sisters, do you think that maybe like printing off a picture of Henry when he was the puppy with the ball in his mouth? I mean, and like framing it for your dad would just be kind of like a reminder of the good times for your dad too. Or like just bring it to the house and just be like, here, hang it
Yeah.
up somewhere. This isn't for you, dad, but also it's for dad.
Also, like tape a picture like on in the inside of his truck or something. So the
Yeah.
next time he goes to work, it's
When
right
he
there.
like flips down the
The visor.
visor.
Visor. Yeah. I feel like I need to just or yeah, even print a picture and frame it just for him to like have it on his desk at work or
Right.
something. Cause like my mom has that her little shrine
Right.
already,
Yeah.
but I think maybe something that's personal to him too would be good because then that way I can still feel like I'm supporting him too.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we have 4 minutes. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about? Otherwise, we can talk about the if there were any helpful takeaways today. Do you think helpful takeaways?
Yeah, I mean, definitely I kind of realized I need to not be so hard on myself and allow myself to grieve. and yeah, take care of myself even when I try to take care of others. Um, remember the good times and not just that one back picture for sure. And just being there more,
Yeah.
you know.
And your goals?
Definitely polish up a doggy bucket list
Mm-hmm.
and start crossing some things off on it
Right.
while Haley is still around, which let me show you her because everybody I show, she is such a funny looking dog. Like she's a Jack Russell, but she has very like wiry hair.
Oh, sure.
Like it's all over the place. Okay, let me try to find one. A good one. She's antisocial, so she's not very photogenic. Or doesn't like her picture taken.
Right, right. Did you ever see Wishbone growing up? Did you
I
ever
feel
watch
like I've heard
Wishbone,
of
the
it.
show?
It's of a little Jack Russell, right?
Jack
Or am I
Russell.
thinking of something else?
No, it's totally a Jack Russell.
So she doesn't like look like so like her and Henry both Jack Russells.
Yeah.
But he's like your typical Jack
Yes.
Russell. We're like, okay, this is funny because it's windy. I hope you can see it. Can you see her fur?
She looks like
Like,
a little bit of a diva there.
oh, she is. She's a diva even in her old age. And in some pictures, it kind of looks like she has a mullet.
Nice. Yeah.
And she
Those
has
are
a
in, so she's got it.
she's a bearded lady, and sometimes my
Oh,
mom has to trim her little beard because it's like hanging. So it's so great. It's oh again, she kind of looks like a diva in this picture. I'm now just realizing it. Like, can you see it?
oh my
Can you
goodness.
see the beard hair?
She's so wiry. She's so cute.
And like she hates being brushed, so it's
Oh,
just
sure.
always just
Yeah.
chaotic. But
Yeah.
it makes for some good pictures,
Yeah.
especially when it's windy.
Well, I'm hoping that you can take today and maybe start thinking about Door County and making your doggy bucket list. Um, and if you'd like to talk again next week, we can totally do that. And you can make an appointment. Otherwise, it was good talking to you today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'll definitely sign up for next week.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.